got a few items that I got to send out today. Actually, quite a few. First, I'm going to be doing these glasses here for the Great Muppet Caper. Happiness Hotel. Miss Piggy busting through the stained glass window from the movie. And then, of course, Fozzie and Kermit in a hot air balloon. I almost forgot who they were for a second. I saw it down here. There it is. Children's Blues Clues comfy chair bowl. Then I have a book that is a Ludwig von Drake book, who is from Walt Disney. Ludwig von Drake. It seemed hard to say for some reason. Gonna be sending that. And 2 remaining Sonic figures. I got Sonic and I got Tails, his partner. Boop. So those and 2 books. A riddle book that I know is around here somewhere. Riddle book by Bennett Cerf, one of the Dr. Seuss series, and then a book called 100 Pounds of Popcorn, which is, let's see, a book by Hazel Krantz. It's an old, like, half illustrated, half novel type book from the 60s, I believe. So those are the items that I'm going to be packing up and shipping today. This here is my shipping station. It's a little closet that I have with some shelves, table, bunch of wrapping paper. So first thing I'm going to do is wrap these glasses. And I've broken quite a few items when I was learning how to ship, but I found a way that works for me, still kind of is good for packaging and also presentation. So here's how I would do glassware. This is leftover from an order that Mary Joy got just for a fire extinguisher?
Yeah, it was like super bad.
Okay. Well, they put way too, like, seriously, this is like a whole bunch of padding that they use that's paper. So I use it to wrap up my goods because I think that it looks a lot better when people get an item like it's wrapped like a present. Plus it helps with the packing. Like, it helps protect it a little bit more. So I wrapped each cup, each glass individually. So roll that around there. I just realized you can't see what I'm doing. So I rolled the glass and then cut off the piece for it. And then I tuck that in there. And then fold this onto the side that's taped. So I can tape that up there too. There you go. So now I have one piece of glass wrapped. And then I'll just do one. Show you what I mean. And then I got this bubble wrap that I bought, which you can get by the roll, and you can get them pretty cheap. I think I got this one that was like 2 for $6. I don't know, for 2 rolls of it. So I roll that around the same way I did with the paper that I put on it. So I got that rolled that way. And then same thing, tuck that inside there. And then fold this along the side that I taped. And that's just specifically so that I don't have tape all over the damn place. All right. So I used to wrap these and then pack them in real tight, make sure they were separated all in the same box, and hope and pray that they didn't knock together or something landed on the box while it was being shipped. You can write fragile on it, but it doesn't mean that matters. So one of the things somebody told me, a person who I interviewed on the podcast, Tammy from Hatch Art House, said you can never go wrong with box in a box. Well, Priority Mail gives you these DVD boxes. You can get them for free, or you can order them for free on the postal website, on the U.S. postage website. So I order that, get the DVD boxes or VHS one, whatever. It's the media one. Which one is this? It is, yeah, it doesn't have an actual label to it. But it looks like this. It looks like you would put a VHS in it. So what I do is, I put this in here, I roll it around, take off this strip right there, and stick it. So now that I have that wrapped up, I cut little slits that go up to where the cup is in there on all the little corners. These scissors aren't cutting it for me. Ha! Puns. So I do that. And I do, make sure you can see it there. Cut there. Wow, it's hard to do that way. And then this long piece, I can actually cut off the end of it here. And then slit there, and then I just bend all this stuff around. Did I cut that slit good enough? There we go. So I go bend, 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 bend. And then I tape it. I've got this Amazon box for something else we ordered, and we always shred up our documents or like labels that we print out and stuff, so I'm going to use that to pad the bottom of it. Just a little bit, because this stuff can actually accumulate in weight, but it helps cushion the bottom. I'm going to put the cups inside. Yeah, a little bit more padding over there. Then I got a bunch of free newspapers that I use to keep them in place, because the big thing is I don't want them rattling around when the box is being transported. So I'm sticking the paper in between each cup and between the edges of the box and the cup. I keep saying cup, it's glass. Another thing that Amazon always sends is these little puffy things. I'm going to use those. And rip them. Because these will actually weigh less than throwing in a bunch of newspapers. I'm going to put those in between. These in between there. Because the weight for this is actually, it's sold as being 2 pounds 7 ounces. So I want to make sure I make that weight. Put these on top. All right. Now, Let's see what the shake test does. Yeah, that's in there. Okay. So that's how I'm going to ship this. Going to tape it up. Now the big thing is making sure that it makes weight. So got my scale right here. Turn that on, make sure that it's set. All right, let's see what it gets to. Oh! 1 ounce too much, but that's not going to make a huge difference in price. But I'm actually really impressed that I got it so close. So that will actually probably still be the same shipping price going out. So print out the labels, then I'm going to send that. So that's how I packed those 3 cups. I'm going to mark it in the inventory and then print out the label. Now I'm going to be doing this Blue's Clues bowl, which is being shipped first class, so I got to keep it under 14 ounces. So this is pretty sturdy. I should be able to just put it into a regular envelope, padded, that I got. Bit of a tear on this, so I'm going to put some tape over that. And then, to make the package size smaller, I fold it to where it needs to be. And then tape that up. And then do it all the way around. After I weigh it, I always make sure to print out the label and put it in the inventory in the order that I do it, because I don't want to accidentally ship the wrong thing to the wrong people or forget to mark down the price, figure out the net profit and all that kind of stuff. So that's how I do this, going into eBay and entering in the new weight, which was 5 ounces, and moving on from there. And also I got to measure what the package is now. So it's 11 by 8.5. I don't know, by 3 inches. But Tom, you might ask, what about those books that you have to send out? Well, of course. Those are the easy ones. I saved those for last. So first I'm going to do the paperback. Just put that in a piece of paper that I cut. Get the tape if I can find it. Wrap that around. Then fold the top over. So now it's going to be wrapped up like that. And then just put it in a regular craft envelope. Then I'm going to fold it so it's a little closer so it doesn't wiggle around while it's being shipped. Fold that over. And then tape it up. Also, I forgot to mention one thing. The weight of these aren't as important because I send out all my books through media mail. So media mail is basically a flat shipping rate for books. It's kind of like the theory of libraries, where if you have a child who has an overdue fee at a library, if you actually mention that it's for a kid, they will waive the fee. They won't say it for you, but if you do, they will waive the fee because they don't want to discourage reading. Of course they want children to read, and if they have a fee and they can't pay it, they don't want kids to avoid the library. So that's kind of the same thing with media mail. If you have books, you can send them over media mail. The flat rate is usually between it. So there are 2 tiers. There are, depending on size and if it is a little heavier, but normally it's about $2.80 for shipping for media mail. So it doesn't really matter what the weight is once you do it. And also they're a lot cheaper. So if you're able to sell books, that's one way to cut costs on it for you and for the buyer. So that's
And encourage reading.
and encourage reading, like she said. So there you go. That's with books. I sell a lot of those because of that. Plus, I find a lot of really cool illustrated books. All right, so I'm gonna take these out right now. I was able to actually do some difficult items and then do some easy items. And that is how I ship things. They're package things and then ship them. I'm off to ship them right now. So just wanted to show how that